The Ram 1500 is in a really tough field given the likes of the Ford F-150 and the Chevy 1500 Silverado, but the Ram is a strong competitor itself with an equally wide range of engine choices, cab configurations, bed configurations, and so on. You have a bunch of different engines. You have a gas 3.6 liter V6, a turbo diesel V6 that has like 420 pound-feet of torque, good fuel economy too. There's also a 5.7 liter V8. There's just so many different ways to get this truck that it's tough to cover every single piece. Just be sure that if there's a certain way you want your 1500, the Ram can probably fit that need. Now, Edmunds gave this truck an A rating. We like the ride quality, we like the 8-speed automatic transmission. There's a lot of stuff to like about this truck, and without further ado, let's take a look inside. Inside the Ram 1500, you find your pretty typical gauge cluster. You have 2 analog gauges and actually a bunch of analog gauges. There's 6. A digital cluster on the inside, or digital readout on the inside, with a really nice, easy to read font. That's one thing that we appreciated out of our long-term truck, was that you could read all the details, and this is multi-configurable too. It could show you a wide variety of displays when you're driving, which is pretty helpful. Your shifter is this rotary dial right here, and this is an interesting execution of the shifter. It took us a little bit to get used to on our long-termer, but we ended up, liking it. It worked well enough. It didn't cause any frustration once we got over the learning curve. The infotainment display is what you'll also see in other Dodge products. It looks good. It works fast, and it's quick enough. Although it might be kind of showing its age versus the newer stuff you see in some Ford products and Chevy products as well. You have a 3-prong plug here, but that's kind of it for the face of the dash. On the front, the rest are underneath the console here. You have one USB port on the left, and then underneath this 12-volt cover you have another USB port. That's kind of it for power options. And then of course underneath all this you have a ton of storage space in this full-size pickup. Ton of room inside this truck. Let's go check the back seat. There's the back seat. Now, there are so many ways to option these trucks that this really isn't indicative of all Rams. But you do have vents back here, which is nice. One 12-volt power port in the back here, and that's the back seat. That's the Ram 1500. It's available in a ton of different configurations, whether you want a big horn or a long horn. If you want to read more about the Ram 1500 and find out why it got an A rating from Edmunds, be sure to visit Edmunds.com.